Hello everyone, and welcome back to my series, Making the Chase. A series where I take each season of NASCAR prior to 2004 and tell the story of the season as if the chase existed in that particular season. In the last episode, we saw Richard Petty claim his 7th championship in rather dominant fashion over Bobby Allison and Cale Yarborough. So today, we're going to take a look at the 1980 season. This season is widely known as the year that the legendary Dale Earnhardt won his first championship. So, will Earnhardt be able to keep his championship with the chase, or will someone else take it away? Well, we're going to find out. Today, we're going to take a look at the 1980 season with the chase. In 1980, the regular season was dominated by 4 drivers: Dale Earnhardt, Cale Yarborough, Darrell Waltrip, and Richard Petty. These drivers accounted for 12 of the 21 regular season races, but Dale Earnhardt was the main force of the regular season as he recorded 3 wins, 12 top 5s, 16 top 10s, and an 8.3 average finish, which was well clear of anyone else. And before the cutoff race, he had a 150-point lead over second place Cale Yarborough. So heading in, the favorites would have been Earnhardt, Yarborough, and Darrell Waltrip. But what about the bubble battle? Well, the top 9 spots were already locked up by Dale Earnhardt, Cale Yarborough, Richard Petty, Benny Parsons, Darrell Waltrip, Bobby Allison, Jody Ridley, Richard Childress, and Harry Gant. This meant that only one spot was left up for grabs. This last spot was held by Terry Labonte. Labonte held this spot by 29 points over Dave Marcus. The other 2 drivers on the outside looking in were James Hilton and Buddy Arrington. Hilton being out by 78 points and Buddy Arrington being out by 88 points. In the cutoff race at Michigan, James Hilton finished the race 25th and was a non-factor, and so was Buddy Arrington. Arrington didn't have a bad day at Michigan, but he finished 13th, which was nowhere near good enough. But what about Labonte and Marcus? Dave Marcus had an engine failure late in the race and came home 26th, while Labonte finished the race 11th, clinching the final chase spot. And with this, the chase field was set up, and it looked like this. In the opening race of the chase at Bristol, one of the favorites, Cale Yarborough, would win and would walk away the points leader by 10 points over Dale Earnhardt. In the second race at Darlington, Yarborough would finish 29th and lose the lead to regular season points leader Dale Earnhardt, who finished the race 7th. Earnhardt would leave the Southern 500 16 points above Benny Parsons. In the third race at Richmond, Earnhardt finished 3rd and left the race still 16 points above a new second place driver, Bobby Allison, who dominated this race and won. In race 4 at the Dover Downs, a lot of the chase field had issues. 5 of the chase drivers finished outside the top 20, and this blew the chase wide open, with Darrell Waltrip winning the race, and this was good enough for Waltrip to launch himself up to 2nd, just 16 points behind new points leader Benny Parsons. In the 5th race of the chase at North Wilkesboro, Bobby Allison would claim his 2nd win in the chase, and halfway through the chase, the field was oddly close. The top 7 drivers were all still within striking distance of one another, and this championship seemed like it was anyone's title. In race 6 at Martinsville, the herd would be thin. The 6th place driver entering this race, Harry Gant, would suffer an early engine failure, relegating him to a 29th place finish and out of contention. But also in this race, Darrell Waltrip had an engine failure which caused him to finish 21st, and this gave the point lead back to Benny Parsons, who is now 17 points above Dale Earnhardt. In race 7 at Charlotte, Dale Earnhardt would come in clutch with a win and reclaim the points lead by a whopping 92 points over Cale Yarborough. From this point on, it seemed as if Earnhardt was the favorite to win it all with 3 races to go. But in the next race at Rockingham, Cale Yarborough won the race while Earnhardt finished 18th, and this closed the gap all the way down to just 16 points. And this seemed like a 3-driver showdown with Earnhardt, Yarborough, and Waltrip. Now in the penultimate race of the season at Atlanta, Cale Yarborough would win and go back-to-back, while Earnhardt finished 3rd, and Waltrip would have a cooling failure which caused him to finish 26th and miss out on a chance to win the championship. But the gap between the leader Cale Yarborough and Dale Earnhardt was just 4 points. What a showdown this would have been. The 2 drivers that combined for 11 wins this season were without a doubt the 2 best drivers of 1980. but it would all come down to a duel out west at Ontario Motor Speedway. It was clear early that both drivers had speed, with Yarbrough claiming the pole while Earnhardt started second. Throughout the race, it was just clear that Yarbrough had the upper hand as he led 65 laps that day, which was second most as opposed to Earnhardt's 3. And late in the race, it just stayed that way, with Yarbrough coming home in third while Earnhardt came home fifth. And Cale Yarbrough would walk away the Winston Cup champion of 1980 for his 4th title. For Cale Yarbrough, this would be his 4th championship in 5 years, and this would be the first time that the real-life champion didn't win the championship with the chase format. Cale Yarbrough and Dale Earnhardt were so evenly matched that they had identical average finishes. Now you may be wondering, how did Yarbrough pull this off with 5 less bonus points entering the chase and being basically the same as Earnhardt? Well, what won him this championship was 2 categories, wins and laps led. Yarbrough had 1 more win and also had almost triple the laps led Earnhardt did in the chase. And that is why Yarbrough won this championship. And another thing about Yarbrough is that this was the last time he ran a full-time Cup Series season, as he would reduce himself to part-time roles after this. So in this timeline, Cale Yarbrough pulled a Peyton Manning and went out on top in a thriller against Dale Earnhardt. Well, that's going to do it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 4,000 by the end of the year. Comment, follow me on Instagram. Thank you to my channel members, and I will see you next week for another video. Y'all have a good one.